Hello, my name is Edward Brown of the Courage Image and Charisma Institute, and today I want to talk about how to find your passion, vocation, and interest in life. I had a letter recently from a young lady who is trying to determine what direction her son should take as he goes to college, what he should major in, and what she should invest her resources in. And that's not necessarily a new question I receive from people or parents who want to give their children the right direction, or even adults who are looking for ways to find their passion in life. But I had to think about and reflect how I got to where I am today as it relates to my body of work or the thing I have an interest in. And it stemmed from my childhood, basically. I came from a colorful, personality-driven family and a colorful, personality-driven community. And I'm a child of the 1970s, so the 70s was all about color and verve, from Dr. J, the basketball player, to Evel Knievel, the stuntman. And so those things shaped and defined my body work on charismatic leadership today. But it didn't start out easily. It was not an overnight sensation or success that I enjoyed or came to embrace as it relates to my vocation. It took a long time and it took a process. And so a few things I want to talk about today will get you on the road towards that process. Now, anyone who knows my body work is on charisma and charismatic leadership. And so a lot of times I couch my information with what charismatic leaders are doing. I determine that charismatic leaders are iconic as it relates to a leadership model, in that if we can do some of the things they're doing, life can be great personally and professionally for us. And so a lot of times I'm talking about charismatic leaders from the concept of what they're doing, how they're behaving, and investigating those nuances and traits that I can impart to you so that you can replicate and emulate those things and have the same or similar success. So first and foremost, in any vocation that you're desiring to get into, you must have a general interest in it. Sounds simplistic, sounds easy to embrace, but most people have a lot of interest in a lot of things. But you have to determine the compelling interest you have in one thing, and that starts the ball rolling. A lot of times when I'm talking to people, they say, well, how do I find out I have a lot of interest, what do I find out a major interest to be? You can do something now that you can do 10, 15 years ago. The Google search for free personality traits or free personality tests, you can actually go online and take a 5 to 10 minute test, and it can tell you basic composites of who you are and where your interests may lie. You can do that 10 to 15 years ago without the Myers-Briggs personality test that you had to take, and that came with a great cost, price-wise, once upon a time. But now you can go online and actually take the test and get a sense of who you are and what you want to do moving forward. So I say take the test. Again, go to Google, put in the search engine, free personality test, and start finding out exactly what you want to do as it relates to your passion in life and the interest that you have currently. Secondly, once you have a general interest of the things you want to do, general interest usually leads to specialization. You start out as a journalist. I started out as a small motivational speaker and a publisher. And my company went bankrupt in 2001 because I was a journalist. I had never made that turn the corner on what it is that I was really saying that was different from what everyone else was saying during the 1990s. And so when I went bankrupt and rebuilt the company I have today, I specialized on charisma and charismatic leadership because I went back to my childhood to reflect on the things I had interest in growing up. The 1970s, as I said, was a time of vivaciousness, creativity, and innovation. And so tying that to what I'm doing today was an easy leap for me. So once you have a general perspective about what you want to do, start specializing in what that means from a fine-tuned perspective. And thirdly, once you have specialized and seen exactly what you want to work on for the rest of your life, ask yourself, how do I become world-class? World-class means that you do that one thing better than anything else and anyone else in the world. You have to specialize and become world-class today more than ever, because a lot of people are doing a lot of things, and a lot of people are jockeying for the microphone or the camera or to be number one in something, but not necessarily know what that thing is. When you say, I'm going to be number one in philosophy, or number one in the field of charismatic leadership, when I say that I'm going to be the biggest producer of information products in that area, that means that every day, all day, I'm thinking about improving the value of my offerings. How do I make this service better? How do I make this product better? How do I get into the minds of people who want to buy what I'm talking about? How can this benefit the people who are buying what I'm selling? All these things go into the lifestyle and the marketability of your niche or your specialization. But it all starts with a general perspective, a specialization, and a relentless desire to be the very best by asking, how can I do this better? How can I change? And how can I facilitate the needs of people who need and buy my product and services? Those things are the benchmark and the foundational principles by which you start growing and evolving in ways that allow you to find your passions, your interests, and the things you want to do for the rest of your life. It doesn't just apply to students and children, it applies to adults. So start understanding that you have at your beck and call an opportunity now better than ever to achieve the things you want to do. And the resources are there. All you have to do is reach out and grab it. At the link below there is more information you can find on how to be more charismatic, persuasive, and engaging. But I want to make sure that we also are facilitating your needs. So give us comments and feedback on how we can do this better. Thank you.